everyone, and welcome to the Four Choirs International Festival. Before we start, we acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we gather today and pay our respects to their ancestors, elders, past, present and emerging, and we extend that acknowledgement to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people joining us here today. I also need to acknowledge the assistance of the federal government and the Victorian Regional Arts Program that enabled a grant to be given to the Four Choirs Committee to help with the establishment and the running of this concert. I'd now like to ask the Mayor of Wangaratta, Councillor Adler, if she would give a welcome to her city.
Thank you, Brian, and welcome everyone here today to the Royal City of Wangaratta. It's my great pleasure to acknowledge the organisers of this fantastic event. I am absolutely blown away by the number of people that are here today and the musicians and choristers who will present to us this afternoon. We have local choirs, the Beechworth Singers, vocal directions Wangaratta, and Albury Wodonga Murray Concert Choir will combine with singers from ProMusica, Arizona to create a powerhouse 130 voice choir today. Alongside them will be the impressive 45-piece orchestra formed by members of ProMusica, the Albury Wodonga Symphony Orchestra, Wangaratta Symphony Orchestra, the Albury City Band and other talented musicians. So you can see that these events don't come together just by accident or just by a few people. It takes a lot of organisation, and Brian acknowledged the assistance of the federal government. Again, these sorts of events wouldn't happen without the support of either the state or federal government. Local communities support these events by being here today, and I'll certainly acknowledge the fact that you've taken the time to come, and I hope today will be a wonderful afternoon of entertainment, exposure to a wonderful musical and choral culture. So thank you again, and I hope our visitors, and we have visitors from the US, I hope you take the time, after you've been here to take a look around our city. We're very, very proud of the Royal City of Wangaratta. We have much to offer, and today obviously is an example of the sorts of things that make Wangaratta a very special place to be. So enjoy and thank you.
Could I ask you to give a rousing welcome to our friends from Arizona? We have a couple of apologies. Helen Haynes, MP, Gail Broad, MLC, Ricky Lee Tyrrell, MLC, have offered their apologies. They have other commitments and can't be here today. Now it's my absolute pleasure to introduce to you our two musical directors, Patti Graetz from Arizona and Paul Tasker from Albury.
Thank you so much.
We are indeed delighted to be here with you in Wangaratta today, and thank you to the Mayor for such a lovely welcome. We arrived in Australia on May 7th and have had a wonderful time. We did a concert down on the Mornington Peninsula, and then we spent a few days on the Great Ocean Road before coming to the Albury-Wodonga area in Wangaratta. We've been here since Wednesday evening, so we've had a nice, long, wonderful opportunity. We were here in Wangaratta on Thursday for a good chunk of time and got to explore and had just a beautiful time here in Wangaratta. We've had fabulous weather until today, but it's still wonderful. Our concert today, our collaboration, we started planning this about 18 months ago. And the repertoire that you are going to hear today is all Australian composers and American composers. It's doubtful that you've heard any of it, which is also a very exciting opportunity for you. There are program notes, the text of what we're singing is in your program, so please avail yourself of those, and I will tell a little bit about some of the repertoire as we go along. We're opening with a wonderful piece called The Awakening, and this is a piece by Joseph Martin, and there are notes in the program about its origins. Enjoy. Thank you so much. It is my great pleasure to hand the baton over to Paul Tasker, who has written a wonderful piece that he will tell you about Sutherland's grave.
Thank you very much. Yes, Sutherland's grave. I'm always looking for things to write about or for. It's one of those daily things I do. I've got to keep composing in the blood. I've come across the Henry Kendall poem, Sutherland's grave. Henry Kendall, one of our great early poets in Australia. Many of you will know some of his poets that were done in schools for years and years. And this poem is particularly set in the Botany Bay region, which is where I grew up, and spent a lot of early days sailing and swimming. School sports were always in the bay because it was just down the road from our school, etc. And Kurnell, which is at the entrance to the bay, for those people that aren't Sydney-based, was where Captain Cook first arrived. Now, you've got to imagine during the Prelude section of this piece, Cook didn't know where he was going. He just knew that they had to keep going westward, and there was this so-called Great South Land that he was instructed by the Admiralty back in Britain to look for. So he went to Tahiti and he studied the transit of Venus, and that was his first job for the Royal Science Institute, whatever it was. Then they found New Zealand, he mapped New Zealand, did a lovely job there, and then they're just sailing west. So this opening bit, you just imagine you're floating along, you don't know what's out there, you're just still going that way. And gradually you hear things start to emerge, you hear the seabirds and things, you know you're getting close to land. Right, and then it builds and builds, and they get caught in a big storm, so you'll hear the storm erupt. And eventually they find Botany Bay and he sails in the heads into calmer waters, and we have a little prayer section there to show their gratitude of being able to be safe there. And then they came ashore. It's become less fashionable to talk about Cook and the early parts of the history of Australia in our teaching these days, but I want you to just imagine you're a member of that crew, you're just a humble lower deck person, and he was a Scot, Forby Sutherland was his name, and he gets sick on the voyage across the Tasman and never recovers, and he passes away while they're in Botany Bay and is interred at Kurnell. You can still see his gravesite there in the National Park, and is the first known white burial in Australia. And so this piece is, and the poem, and I encourage you to read the poem in your booklet as we're singing and see that there's sentiments attached to that. So I do hope you enjoy Sutherland's grave.
next piece that we'll be singing is a suite of pieces. There's 3 movements. It's called the Firebird. And it's written by Australian composer Daniel Brinsmead, who actually grew up in Albury, now lives in Melbourne, is a wonderful composer, young composer, and I met Daniel for the first time in 2005 when he was 17 years old, participating in the Opera Scholars Australia Young Artist Program through Opera in the Alps. Many of you probably remember the Opera in the Alps performances that happened in Beechworth, and I was the soprano soloist there in 2006. But starting in 2005, I had the great privilege for 11 seasons to coach the Young Artist Program for Opera in the Alps. And so I recognized Daniel's talent immediately. He wrote a piece for the Young Scholars for 2006 called Come Sleep. And I heard it, and I said, Daniel, you really need to pursue getting this piece published. And he said, well, how would I go about doing that? And he was 17 or 18 at the time. And so I encouraged him to contact a publisher in the US who was very open to having composers, unknown composers, submit for publication, and they published his piece. And that was sort of the beginning of his amazing career now that he is having as a composer, as a conductor also in Melbourne. So he was at our performance yesterday, and unfortunately he could not be here today. He would have loved to have been. But the Firebird is a piece that was commissioned by, I believe it was Melbourne Grammar School, as a graduation piece. And I think, and he wrote the text as well as the music. And it's just a beautiful, uplifting piece that really, I think, personifies the excitement of youngsters going on to pursue adulthood and all the opportunities that life holds for them. So this is the Firebird. I ask that you hold your applause through until the piece is finished, and then we'll have a brief intermission afterwards. Thank you so much.
music for youth choirs and children's choirs. And this piece is from a suite of his, and it's called A Canvas of Electricity. And it's been expanded to big choir and orchestra. I hope you'll enjoy it.
Thank you, Paul. Our next piece, you will find notes in your program about. Pemulwuy was an Aboriginal warrior who was very prominent in leading the uprising against the British during the period, the late 1700s into the early 1800s. And you can read more about the history of this piece. This is really a battle cry, and you will hear many references to the crow, which was the totem that Pemulwuy used. And so there are many references to the crow in this piece. And I know Paul mentioned earlier that oftentimes we don't talk much about the origins and what happened as Australia was being settled. But this is a reminder of who the land really belonged to. no program that features Australian and American composers would be complete without a piece by Percy Grainger. The next piece is called Mock Morris. Morris dancing was a very popular form of colonial dancing, and when Percy Grainger decided to write this piece, by the way, it's dedicated to his mother, which is lovely, he wasn't trying to imitate Morris dancing style specifically, but it was, that's why it's called mock Morris, but it is certainly in the style of Morris dancing. This piece is for our orchestra only, features our orchestra, and it's important that you understand that this orchestra has only played together 5 times. And so for, yes. So we arrived on Thursday here in Wangaratta and had our first rehearsal with everyone from the US and from Australia. It sometimes takes an orchestra a while to adapt to playing with each other. It's just like any ensemble, as well as the choir singing together. So everyone had to really adapt very quickly to being sensitive to each other and learning to play together very rapidly. So anyway, I hope you enjoy Mock Morris that features the Four Choirs International Festival Orchestra. The next piece, Saguaro Song, is sort of the piece that began this whole idea of Australian composers and American composers when we were meeting together via Zoom, by the way, for about 18 months talking about repertoire. The committee asked, is there something in Arizona that ProMusica has? And I said, as a matter of fact, yes, we do. We had commissioned this piece for our 20th anniversary season, which was in 2023. And the composer, by the way, his name is misspelled in your program. It is Craig Bohmler, B-O-H-M-L-E-R, is an American composer who I have known since 1986. So that makes 40 years of musical collaboration. He's a wonderful composer. He understands the voice. He writes amazing, crazy orchestrations. I think the orchestra will agree on that part of it, but it's very creative. The texts for this piece are written by a Canadian poet-lyricist. Her name is Marion Adler, and she and Craig have collaborated on many, many major works. But I feel it's important that you understand a little bit about the actual saguaro cactus itself. I think when everyone thinks of Arizona, that is the one thing that comes to mind. This amazing, the cactus with all the big arms pointing every which way. So, saguaro cactus grow about 1 to 2 inches a year. And it takes about 60 years for them to bud an arm. So when you see them in the desert, they're hundreds of years old, many of them. And they have an average life expectancy of about 300 years. So being in Arizona since 1989, every time I drive through the desert, I think, oh, the stories these saguaro cactus could tell. So when I started talking to Craig about this commission, I said, I'd really like something that really captured Arizona and what more is there than the saguaro cactus. So he contacted his poet, who has been to Arizona a number of times. She started researching saguaros and found out all kinds of interesting things. So the first movement of this piece talks about the generations of cactus. And when you see them, you see all different sizes, and you know that they're varying ages. And also the fact that in North America, the cold side of the mountains is the north slope, whereas in Australia, it's the south slope, right? So you have to switch your brain around to this reference of nothing grows on the north slope in cold shade that you will hear in this piece. And as our earth has changed and climate has changed, we're starting to see saguaros actually growing on the north side of mountains, which it shouldn't be doing, but they are. They've adapted. And so that is why this first piece is called The Saguaro Children's Adapt. So they are adapting in that way. The second movement is, what's that text? The saguaro does not love the rain. The saguaros have a real love-hate relationship with the rain. They have the ability to store up to 1,500 gallons in their trunks, which is amazing. They store that water and use it as they need it, but they don't like it when we only get 8 or 10 drops of rain and then it quits. And which is a common thing in the desert. I have to tell you, we have 330 some odd days of sunshine. And on the other 30 days when there is a cloud in the sky, we are all very excited about the possibility that it might rain. One little cloud is like, oh, there's a cloud. Anyway, so it's difficult for the saguaro cactus because they need the water. And when it starts to rain, their pores open up and they drink in whatever falls from the sky. So imagine being incredibly thirsty and all you get is 8 or 10 drops of water, right? And so that's why that movement is called The Saguaro Does Not Love the Rain, because oftentimes that's all that happens. The next movement, number 3, is the saguaro surrenders. The saguaro is being affected by environmental and mostly man influences. So pollution, all of the things that are happening with climate change, the usurping of the desert into subdivisions, housing, etc. The saguaro is a protected thing in Arizona, and so whenever they build a road or a home, they have to remove the saguaro safely and take it to a big old storage nursery where it lives until the road or houses are built, and then they have to be returned and planted safely. And so this movement pertains to the loss of that environment and also the effect of pollution. And the last line is, there's no surviving this virus called man. So it's pretty poignant in that. The fourth movement, I think, is everyone's favorite, right? Yes, we all love the fourth movement. It's the saguaro's lullaby. And there is a note in your program that tells you a little snippet of the history. In 1930, a 10-year-old boy he broke the Guinness Book of World Records by spending 5 days sitting in a saguaro cactus with his little chair nestled in its arms. And in this movement, the saguaro is talking to the little boy, and it's very beautiful and tender, this text. So be sure you follow along as we hear the saguaro talking to the little boy. And the fifth movement is pure fun. So the saguaro provides housing for birds and all kinds of insects. And so it's called The Cactus Wren Moves In, and it's done as if it were a real estate advertisement. It's very clever, very cute. And then the final movement is the saguaro's prayer. And that is, I raise my arms to you, white heaven. So imagine all of these amazing, tall, 10 meters, some of them, just lifting their arms. And it's saying, I give you all I have. It has beautiful white flowers when it blossoms, and then it produces a fruit that becomes very important nourishment for the birds mostly, but bobcats, mountain lions actually climb saguaros on a regular basis and and like search out their prey. Javelinas, the wild boar will eat the base for food. And the other thing that is happening environmentally is that we are experiencing more and more, anywhere from 46 to 50 degrees Celsius days in the desert. And in the inner city where saguaros are planted in people's front yards, the water in the saguaros actually is boiling, and it's killing the saguaros, and they fall over. They can be fine one day and fallen over the next. And they weigh at least a ton. They are very, very heavy. So they cause destruction, cars and homes and houses and fences all getting crushed by saguaros. Anyway, it's a wonderful work, very imaginative text, very imaginative music. So enjoy the saguaro song, and please hold your applause until the work is finished. Thank you so much. Well, this has been an absolute delight to be here with you. And we'll close our program with, I think, a wonderful sentiment. If music be the food of love, sing on. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for supporting live music and the Four Choirs International Festival, and maybe we'll do it again someday.